Could you spot a cheater on a game show?
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
As a kid, I was absolutely obsessed with game shows. And the great thing about them is that you get to put yourself in the place of the contestant and say, oh, would I get these right? Would I get these wrong? Would I win the big bucks? What would I be willing to do to go all the way to the cash top?
To the cash top
To
is
the
what
cash
they call
crop.
it. That's the official name. Well, lots of people have been willing to go to great lengths to get to the cash top, and maybe even too far. That's what we're talking about today.
Yes, I want to take you to 2001.
Take me there.
The British version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. In particular, Charles Ingram. He was a former major in the British Army, and then he was a contestant in the hot seat on Millionaire. Now, he answered the first 7 questions right, amassing 4,000 pounds, but he already used 2 lifelines in the process to get to this point.
Not good.
So, not quite halfway there, not looking good, but he was rescued by the end of that episode because they said, okay, come back tomorrow, audience, and see how Charles, the major, does. So he had some time to regroup, and he did some strategizing, and he came back the next day with a new plan to go all the way to the top, hopefully. So this is what I want to do. I want to play a montage of his final answers for you and see if you can identify his strategy, okay?
Okay.
I would have thought that it would be Aristotle Onassis. Yeah, I'm going to go for Aristotle Onassis. A1 or Craig David. No, I'll go Craig David.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
Had something to do with that woman.
Take cricket. I'm going to play Google. Yeah. Final answer. Final answer.
This is it here. This is the last one.
You just won 1 million!
Yes! What a surprise!
1 million!
Listen to what the host says.
You are the most amazing contestant we have ever had.
Yeah, you sure are.
You are the most amazing contestant
You
we
and that
have
woman
ever,
you brought with you.
ever had. So, he was amazing because he was cheating. Can you guess how, Rhett?
The coughing.
Yeah, now...
That's my guess.
This episode never aired. But this footage was used in a documentary, which I highly recommend. Look it up. It's called Major Fraud, which documents this whole thing. And that's why the mix was altered for the coughs to be so loud. But yes, he came back on day 2 and orchestrated a whole plan where that woman who was like coughing and covering her face was his wife.
Oh.
And then he also got the help of a contestant who was waiting in the wings named Tequin. And the 2 of them would cough whenever he would say the answer they thought was correct. And
It's effective.
he would read all of read all the answers and then wait for the cough.
I heard the cough.
Yeah, everyone started to hear it over the course of the game except for the host, who was like so dialed in that he never noticed and kept things going.
People cough, it happens.
And then here's a picture of Tequin. Hello, I'm Tequin. I'm willing to cheat for someone else.
I wonder what his agreement was, how much he was going to get.
I don't know, but at one point Charles forgot his system, and instead of reading every answer so that he could cough with the correct one, he just said, I think it's so-and-so. And then Tequin was like, no. He literally coughed, no. You can hear it audibly.
Sometimes you have to do that kind of thing.
So the producers obviously caught on to this, and then they gave him a phone call a few days later, and they recorded the phone call. Let's listen to that.
I have to tell you that we have suspicions.
Oh, really?
From viewing the recording of last Monday's program and subsequently studying the tapes carefully, that there were irregularities during the taping of the show in which you participated.
Specifically coughing.
Good Lord, no. Because of that, I have to tell you that these suspicions have been referred to the police.
Right.
And thus, we not for the moment will be airing the program or indeed authorizing payment of the check.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, I completely refute that, obviously.
Of course.
Good Lord, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. All right, well, thanks for letting me know.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, bye.
Cheers, bye.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. You caught me cheating, that's
Sounds a little guilty to me.
yeah.
That's not how I would have denied it if I
You
wasn't
think?
doing it.
Just get off the phone as quickly as you can. He was found guilty and fined 5,000 pounds.
Whoa.
And he's now known around town as the Coughing Major.
Oh,
yeah.
That name sticks with you.
But Tequin testified that his coughing was a combination of hay fever and a dust allergy, and I believe it.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
So, top that one.
Okay, you may remember this show, Press Your Luck, from the 80s.
I love this show.
You would play a game where you answer questions and you would win spins that you would get to take on the big board. And when you got to the big board, you could win more spins and money, or if you hit a whammy, you would lose everything.
Yes.
So here's how the game worked once you got to the big board, just so you understand.
Go for it. Here it goes. Go for it. Come on, Big Muffin. I need a 5,000 and a spin for Toby. Come on. Stop.
He got it. He got the
Look at
5,000
that.
in the spin.
Come on again for Toby. Stop.
Oh, he didn't. He got a
Whoa.
whammy for Tommy.
Look how unhappy he is. Oh, thumbs down.
I tried to do it for Tommy.
As
Who's
you can see,
Tommy?
very, very dramatic. Well, that's
Is
typically
that his name?
That's how, probably not. That's how the game is played. But there's a guy named Michael Larson who was an ice cream truck driver from Ohio.
Okay.
He played the game a little bit differently. Let's watch Michael play the big board.
All right. He looks like an ice cream.
Okay, 4,000 in a spin. Yep. 5,000 in a spin. 1,000 in a spin.
Got because of Kauai. Yeah. Whoa.
He's so happy. Keep going.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Press your luck. Stop. Stop. Go, go, go. Stop.
Can you believe it?
I can tell you right now,
$110,000.
I did not see this episode because I would have remembered it. And I would act like that if I were him too.
Look at that. That's what I
Celebration dance.
Okay.
No whammies, no whammies. Stop.
Link, what did you think was going on there?
I think that his voice shook something loose and the whammies couldn't come up. It's like,
That is exactly what didn't happen. Here's what happened. So this ice cream truck driver had been studying the big board for an extensive period of time, and he figured out there were 2 squares that a whammy never showed up on.
Okay.
And he also figured out there were 5 different patterns that you could follow the highlighted box around. So he would sense which pattern it was, and he knew when it was going to go to one of those 2 spots, and he would stop the board, and he did this 45 times in a row.
45 times
Meanwhile,
in a row?
producers are backstage freaking out. They can't bankroll this ice cream truck driver like this.
No.
The only reason he ends up stopping is
We've
because
got to stop him.
he hit one of them that wasn't one of the ones that he was thinking about, and he lost confidence, and so he stopped. He had more spins. He stopped at 110,000. Okay, they figure out what he did. They analyzed the tape. They realized that he had figured out the patterns.
Well, first of all, that's not cheating.
And they determined that it was not cheating, and
Yeah.
he got to keep all his winnings. They went on to change the system so that it couldn't be gamed as easily. But listen to what Michael Larson ended up doing. He ended up pressing his luck even further. This guy couldn't get enough. He goes back home. There's a radio contest where you can win $30,000 if you have a matching serial number on a $1 bill that the radio station is reading out. He gets all $110,000 after taxes printed into $1 bills. So he has just bags of $1 bills
kidding
around his
me.
house. He's checking the serial
Serial
number to
numbers?
win 30,000 more. Well, his last whammy was when he went to a Christmas party and someone stole all of his money.
Oh, no. That is horrible.
Sorry, Michael. Now he's also dead, which is kind of a big whammy, but
I wonder what he would have said if he came home while they were stealing the money.
stop!
Yeah, that's probably it. All right, I got one for you. Terry Neese, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. In 2008, he makes it to contestants row, and this is no normal contestant. This guy is a veteran blackjack cart counter.
Yes.
He is a casino surveiller, and he is a former TV weatherman, and you know what that means.
He can forecast how cold it's going to be in the studio.
Patterns.
yes, that too.
First of all, when he gets down there, everyone's got to bid on one item. It's a grill. He guesses that it cost $1,175. Pretty exact bid and exactly right.
Oh.
raises a little suspicion.
Lucky.
He then earns the right to go on stage. He makes his way through The Price is Right to get to the very
Showcase
end,
showdown.
the grand finale, where he's pitted against someone else. They present a whole bunch of prizes you could win, but you've got to give the total price of the total showcase
Without going over.
And if you're within $250, you win both showcases.
I love it.
Now, this is the longest running show in television history, but what he did was amazing and out of nowhere. Let's watch the finale.
Yeah, the trailer, jukebox, bid $23,743. Actual retail price, $23,743. You got it right on the nose. You win both showcases.
Right on the nose!
Hasn't happened since 72 or 73. Right on the nose. You won $56,430.
Drew Carey is very subdued.
Today, folks.
He was new at his
Pet
job, I
population,
guess.
Don't forget to get your pet spayed or neutered.
What is that
See you next
smile
time on
about?
Price is Right. Bye-bye.
Well, listen, whenever I have a big milestone in my life where I do something amazing, I know who I'm not inviting. Drew Carey.
Could have been anybody.
Listen, here's
what are
the story.
chances?
The reason why-
I hate my job.
It wasn't that. He's great at his job and he loves his job, but he was convinced that the guy was cheating because it had never happened, basically.
It's impossible.
And the producers were kind of having a conversation backstage, but here's the facts. He wasn't cheating. It was a combination of studying patterns and luck. He and his wife had taped and reviewed every single night all the products and prices on Price is Right, and it turns out that they repeat them. And he remembered what they were, and then when he got to the end, his wife's in the audience saying 23,000, and then he just adds 743 because it's their pin. That's what he said.
That's quite a system. So
And
there was some luck involved.
Some luck in it, but Drew
little
Carey
fishy.
was convinced that he was cheating and that it would never air. That's why he was so subdued. But they did air it. They just buried it in December when nobody watches Price is Right as much. And then Price is Right had to change their whole system in the wake of Terry Nese taking home all that stuff, including a karaoke machine.
Well, there you go. If you want to win at game shows, study the patterns, drive an ice cream truck, and put your PIN number in wherever possible.
Peter Tomarkin, give me a call. Big fan. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Help control the pet population. Also, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
Hi, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Bobby.
We're from St. Olaf College.
In Northfield, Minnesota. And
it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
You know, Peter Tomarkin is dead. He's not going to be giving you any shout-outs.
Yeah, don't call me.
He's also not on Twitter, but we are. Rhett and Link, that's what we are on Twitter. You should, if you really like tweets, you should really follow us over there.
And click the mythical more, click the eye, because we're gonna find out the story behind Rhett's vision quest in solitary confinement on the desert.
But not before we have a prize!
In the desert, not on the desert. Well, he was on the desert. Congratulations
To
to
Ashenden, you win Merch of the Month, the GMM t-shirt!
Congratulations!
I slept in my underwear. And I've been kind of telling people that you need to keep up with me. I actually
embarrassed.
Originally,
It just
it
felt
was
like-
the picture was just above the nipple. And I was like, that's inappropriate.